Alright guys, today we're checking out the Hiboy P6 Fat Tire electric bike. On first glance, this kind of resembles a mountain bike. It looks like it's all terrain, but I think these are meant mainly for commuting through the streets. And I'll get into it a little bit later. Metallic gray color, battery built into the frame. I think it looks really unassuming, stealthy, minimalist. So let's just walk through all the features. First, we got these large 26 by 4 inch fat tires, kind of a dual sport tread, probably meant for the streets though. Quick release for the wheel, hydraulic suspension fork with the lockout, and preload adjustment. A very bright integrated headlight, Hiboy emblem right here. It does have mechanical disc brakes. I wish it actually came with hydraulic disc brakes, especially for something this size. We got the 48 volt, 13 amp hour removable battery. Like I said, it's integrated right into the frame, which makes it very stealthy. You got a flat mountain bike style handlebar, rubber grips, headlight button, horn button, left mounted LCD display, Shimano 9-speed shifter, and a right hand half twist throttle. And while there's no rear suspension, you do get this pretty comfortable saddle seat. Looks like you have mounting points over here, possibly to add a rear rack, a 750 watt geared hub motor, and a Shimano 9-speed derailleur. And the total weight of this bike is 65 pounds. So now that we've gone over all the features of the Hiboy P6, let's take it out for its first ride.
The Hiboy P6 has a sturdy aluminum frame paired with 26 by 4 inch fat tires, giving it a robust look and feel. Weighing in at 65 pounds, it's surprisingly lightweight for its size, making it easier to handle than many other fat tire bikes in its class. The bike's integrated headlight ensures you stay visible during night rides, while the front hydraulic suspension shock helps smooth out bumps on rough terrain. Powered by a 750 watt hub motor and a 48 volt, 13 amp hour removable battery, the P6 has a top speed of over 28 miles per hour. Depending on your riding style and conditions, you can expect a range between 25 and 62 miles. The right-hand half-twist throttle and 5 levels of pedal assist offer a versatile riding experience, from city streets to off-road terrain. The Shimano 9-speed derailleur ensures smooth and precise gear changes, especially when hitting inclines. One of the standout features of the P6 is its excellent maneuverability. Despite its size, the bike feels agile and responsive thanks to its well-tuned controller that offers a natural riding experience. And the mechanical disc brakes provide reliable stopping power, although we usually prefer hydraulic brakes.
Alright guys, first ride with the Hiboy P6 Fat Tire electric bike. It is probably a bike that's slightly too big for me, but I can still fit on it. I can kind of sit on it with one leg, can't quite flat foot it. I'm like tippy-toeing right here. Even if I pop off the saddle, I'm still kind of hitting the frame. So a little bit big for me. Let's just try it out. Alright. So mode 1 is pretty nice actually. The pedal assist feels very, very natural. Doesn't even feel like the motor is obviously on, but it's just such a natural feeling. Although the bike is kind of heavy, so it's not going that fast. You could definitely feel the weight of the bike. Bump it up to pedal assist level 2. A little bit better, yeah. A little bit more power. I like the variation. It's a very subtle variation between 1 and 2. But if you like sort of that natural pedaling, that's a good setting to keep it on. Pedal assist level 3. Give it a little throttle. Yeah, plenty of power. Very nice. And the front suspension fork is definitely absorbing some of these bumps or these cracks in this parking lot. Let's bump it up to pedal assist level 5. Giving it some max throttle here. That feels good. Yeah, plenty of power. Super easy to control. Yeah, this thing would rip in the city for sure. Let's take it up this hill and see how it does. Up the hill, no issues there. Yeah, the front suspension fork and the fat tires are absorbing this off-road terrain. So you could definitely ride this on grass and not be like super uncomfortable. And yeah, this thing is just, this thing has so much power. and is a lot of fun to ride. It's surprisingly easy to handle. It's very lightweight for its size. Okay, let's go down this hill. Yeah, I really like the controller tune on this, on the Hiboy. I think with like other bikes in this class, the pedal assist just feels like an on and off, just pumping volts into the motor. And this thing is actually, it might be a torque sensor, but it is really calibrated to my pedaling in a way that just feels really easy to ride. Now, the only thing that I wish this bike came with stock is hydraulic disc brakes, especially for a bike this size. And mechanical disc brakes are okay, but I find that I'm always adjusting mechanical disc brakes, whereas hydraulic, I can pretty much dial it in and it'll last for a really long time. But we could test the brakes out here. Let me gather some speed. Test the brakes. Here we go. Okay. Decent stopping power. Okay, first impressions with the Hiboy P6 fat tire electric bike. I'm actually really pleased with how this thing performed. I think the bike that this resembles the most in our recent review history was probably the Mooncool MC3. It kind of has a similar build. Maybe has a little bit more amp hours or something, but it was definitely like 26-inch tires. And so the height was very similar. And yeah, this reminds me of that. And we gave that a positive review. First of all, the looks, you know, I really like when bikes look minimalist. I feel like, you know, it has a little more class in my opinion. So this looks really unassuming, especially with the battery built into the frame. It's very stealthy. I feel like people who are in the market for this type of bike really want a bike that looks like a bike, you know? They're not going for something that looks like a moped. So this is a great option for anyone looking for that sort of low-key kind of bike. I think what I really, really liked, I think what the big standout feature of the Hiboy was the controller tune. It's always like hit or miss whenever I review these bikes. I never know what I'm gonna get. Usually it's a controller tune that's not really memorable, in my opinion. Some of it is just shooting volts into the motor as soon as you pedal. And, you know, I've seen that with both speed sensors and torque sensors. Sometimes they're just not calibrated right. So it's never usually like one is better than the other. I feel like the manufacturer has the option to go in and choose a tune that makes the most sense for the product. And so that's something that, you know, you can't really see it. You have to ride it to understand. But it makes a big difference on the rideability, on how much you'd use it, because it is a lot of fun to ride. Can it ride off-road? Yeah, I mean, it could ride like on this hill, on grass, no problem. Would I take it on trails or anything like that? Probably not. I mean, there's no fenders, which I think was a missed opportunity. So if you're riding this in the rain or through mud or dirt or whatever, you're gonna get hit with debris. So just keep that in mind. There's probably an option to get fenders, but I think it should have came stock. So I think this is more of like a city commuter bike. This is something that you can take on the bike paths. This is something you could take on the bike lanes, and no one would really give you a second look because it looks like a regular bike. And if you needed more power to keep up with traffic in the streets, it can do it. So yeah, I mean, for the price, for the features, it's not a bad choice. You also have mounting points over here, so I think you can add a rear rack. So that's another plus if you want to bring cargo on your trips. I've never heard of Hiboy before. I kind of, you know, these names of these companies are just like, what? Like something lost in translation. But I actually think the Hiboy P6 is a decent budget fat tire e-bike. So yeah, definitely check it out.
So here's what we like. The P6 is surprisingly easy to maneuver, offering a smooth and enjoyable ride. The controller tune is spot on, making the ride feel natural and fun. And despite its size, the P6 feels lightweight and easy to handle. But here's some things to consider. The absence of a rear suspension shock could make some rides less comfortable, particularly on rough terrain. Its large size might make transportation a bit of a hassle, and the lack of front and rear fenders feels like a missed opportunity, especially for an all-terrain bike. Overall, the Hiboy P6 is a decent choice for those looking for a versatile, all-terrain, fat tire e-bike. Its easy maneuverability make it a great option, especially for commuting. While it has a few drawbacks, such as the lack of rear suspension and fenders, its overall performance and fun riding experience make it a bike worth considering. So what do you think of the Hiboy P6? Is it the all-terrain e-bike you've been searching for, or do you prefer more features? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.